Happy solstice, everyone. This is Ista Ra. I'm here with a message for all of you. Um, I have to say that it has been the most interesting ride the last week or so. Lots of energy, lots of tension building up higher and higher. I'm sure some of you have probably felt that. If not, I'm sure that your twin has. I am definitely noticing such an upsurge of energy. So over the last, I'd say 2 weeks, I've been feeling the buildup of the solstice energy coming in. And over the last week in particular, lots of emotions running high, a lot of anger thrown out into the atmosphere, a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, a lot of frustration being kicked up, as well as a lot of happy, a lot of joy, a lot of love, a lot of reconnecting kind of energy that's been going out there. So with this tension building, I felt this crash once the solstice started to hit. And so for me, the last couple of days, I have been extremely exhausted, if not actually 3 days now in a row. I've been really tired. So I have been trying to get this message out for a few days now, and my guides are like, when you're ready, because I've been really tired and not able to sit upright really. Um, so I think the exhaustion is like that buildup that we had, that surge of energy, and then just kind of comes crashing down. And we're kind of in the other side of it. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. And my guides are I plan to channel a little bit more later, so you can check out my blog, which will be inside the video description, so that you can read a little bit more about the energies happening. I call them my energy thoughts, and I also have stuff about Twinflame stuff there too. But I will be writing down my channel that started coming to me this morning, and I began it, never got to finish it. Felt like this time I needed to put a message out to all of you because this energy is so powerful. I was responding to an email today, and I just heard very clearly that this solstice energy is amazing and opening doorways for our twin relationships to come into manifestation or to come into our awareness in a way that we've not had it yet. So I want to say that I'm really excited about the energy that's coming. And I want to say this full moon is very powerful. So if you haven't had a chance to go out there and see it, check it out. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And it totally made me feel a lot more alive the last couple of days. So I wanted to just bring up a few things that I've been, pondering in my mind and thinking about. So as twins, we are under pressure to change a lot on this planet. And I'm not sure if any of you have noticed that, but are you feeling a sense of urgency? Because I've been feeling the sense of urgency for several years now. But recently, one of the things that came into my awareness was learning to embrace who I really am. So for the last several years, I've been in business since 2004. I've been awake since I was a child, but I kind of shut it off for a little while because my background was in politics. And while I was in there, I could not actually feel or meditate or really experience much because of the energy. And about 2000, I started to reawaken again. Maybe late 90s, 2000, I started to reawaken. I started doing energy healing classes. I started learning more about me. And then I opened my business in 2004. And, my job at that time was, you'll find that with my logo, is an angel over the earth with lights on the earth. And my job at the time was promoting hope, healing our planet Earth one person at a time by turning on the light. So that was always my mission. Last couple of years, particularly, well, since 2011, really, I have had more and more experiences with twin flame energy and what I guess I would say I should be doing. I started to have a lot happen after the 11/11 gateway back in 2011. And once that happened, I started to feel lots of twin flame stuff coming. And so I always felt like, well, I can't really help twin flame because I'm not with my twin yet. He's not here yet. I know who he is. I've met him. He's not ready yet. He hasn't been available. And the love is there. The connection is strong and it's there. But he's not in my life yet. So I just had this fear that I couldn't actually do this work if I wasn't already with my twin. So that being said, I had a little break of work because I had a car accident in 2013, and I've been recovering for the last few years, and I'm finally much better. And in the last several months, I've been getting more and more promptings about twin flame work, and I tried to avoid it, to be honest with you, because again, the whole reasoning was because my twin isn't here. And he is here. He's just not physically with me yet in union. So I kind of avoided that. And then the other day, something came to me that was really strong and prominent. And I was sitting there talking to a friend, and all of a sudden, clear as day, I heard, how do you expect your twin to embrace his role as a twin flame and embrace your union if you're not even embracing who you fully are? So you're asking him to embrace you, but you're not embracing you. You're asking him to embrace his journey, yet you're not fully embracing your journey. So in the last few weeks, perhaps months now, 2 months, I've been getting tons of guidance and tons of signs, symbols, acknowledgement from everyone that this is my path, this is my journey. So when I was wondering what was I supposed to do next after 2012, because after 2012 I had done the work that I was started to do back in 2004, and they told me a new path was going to be open for me. And I think the new path, they've been knocking on my door, knocking on my head really, and I've kind of ignored it a little bit. So I am telling you all this because for two reasons. One, I'm moving my business in the direction of twin flame work from what I was doing prior. I still do what I did prior. I still do readings. I still do healings. I still do clearings. I still do teaching. I love teaching. And I'm going to probably evolve it a little bit more in the direction of twin flames because I'm being pushed that way and guided that way. Hence why they gave me a card spread to do readings, quick readings for people. Also doing the energy clearings that I do for people as well as for the twin flames, because that is something that I've worked on with my twin. I do every day for the two of us daily. I do some work with them daily. So that is something I'd like, to say. But the real other reason that I really wanted to tell you this was for you to look at what you're doing in your life. What is it that you're not embracing? Is there something that you're not embracing? Something that you have yet to fully own as part of you, or fully look at as part of your journey and part of your mission? Because if that is the case, if you're not embracing you fully, how do you expect your twin to embrace you fully, or to embrace himself or herself fully on this journey? Like, they have work to do. Yes, they do. I'm not disputing that, and I'm not saying that they don't. But what I'm saying is we still have work to do. We're here on this planet of learning and experiencing, and we have our own journey to kind of come to terms with what we need to do next. So I encourage you to look at your life and look at what you haven't been embracing. For example, if there's like something you're supposed to do, artwork, and you've been pushing off your artist abilities because you're like, oh, I'm not going to make money, or I'm not supposed to do that. I think you need to rethink that and look at that again, because that is something that is you, that is inherently what you came here to do. So if you are missing the point of what you're here to do and you're thinking, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, look at the signs, the messages, and all the energy that's been pointing you in the proper direction. Because I feel like the time is now for us to really embrace who we truly are. And as we do that, so does our twin. So everything that we do, our twin experiences and does as well. And I want to encourage you with that little bit of advice and that little bit of wisdom, because that's something that really hit me pretty hard in the last week. And I realized, wow, that's true. I've kind of avoided doing the twin flame work, not because I didn't think I could do it, more because I thought I couldn't do it without my twin physically sitting beside me. So I want you to look at what you need to embrace. Open your heart to that, because I feel like that is one step towards your journey, if not a huge giant leap towards your journey. And because I feel mine was a very big leap, and then it's going to give him permission to really accept who we are. And I feel like on some level he's already beginning to accept that. The second thing I wanted to mention was that we are at a time where everything is possible and anything is possible. And staying in high vibe is really of utmost importance. My guys have been really strong with me about that recently. Don't do anything that is going to drag me down into an energetic spiral. I used to call it the spiral of hell. And the spiral of hell, quote unquote, was my way of describing when I would see human stuff happening with my twin that didn't reflect the truth that I knew inside of me. So I'm telling you all that because if you know there's things that trigger you into deep emotion that causes you to go into this downward spiral that you sometimes can't get out of. And I've been there many times, and perhaps I haven't had the last, because I realize that one of the things that I have to keep doing is maintaining my energy, maintaining myself, and taking care of me. So as long as I keep doing that, I stay more positive, I stay more in balance, and I don't find that spiral of hell. And thanks to many different healers and teachers around the globe that I've learned from over the years, and healers I've learned from, obviously mostly from my guides and from the archangels, they have provided me with so many wonderful tools. And I am grateful for everything they've done, because they've taught me how to stay grounded, stay balanced, bring myself into a calm, balanced place and an awareness. Also in an awareness when I'm speaking with my twins, so that we stay in a balance with the two of us and we don't get pulled into this emotional spiral that both of us can easily do, because clearly there are always triggers. And learning my triggers was really key, but there are still other triggers that I don't always know. And that's because the reality is those are not necessarily on the surface. Like we heal in layers. We heal as layers come off of us. So as you're healing and as you're learning, you'll discover that you'll find not all the layers come off, or you figure you learned it, you did it, I'm done. And then all of a sudden, a week, 2 weeks, 6 months later, year later, 2 years later, something comes up and you're like, I thought I dealt with this already. I thought I was done. And then you're shocked. But the reality is you healed one layer. You just didn't heal it all. And the best thing to do is get to the core of it and start clearing from that point forward. And it will really assist you. And that's one of the things I've learned to do recently is in recent years, I've been able to go back in and see the timeline to see where something perhaps showed up in somebody's past, and we can go back to clear the curses or clear the dark energies or clear the family drama, whatever's happened. And it's really important to get down and dirty with yourself and figure out what the heck it is that's holding you back and blocking you. And you might think that has nothing to do with your twin, but it has everything to do with your twin, because the stuff that's holding you back is holding your twin back. The stuff that is holding you in unworthiness or feeling unlovable or insecure, those are the same things your twin is feeling. We mirror everything with them. So if you're feeling like you're completely done healing on this journey, but you're not with your twin physically, and you know your twin physically is supposed to be with you here in this life, that means you're not quite done yet. So I caution you in thinking you're finished, because there is still things to clear, because every time something comes up, there's something that happens that triggers an effect. And whatever you're doing affects directly your twin flame. And what's interesting is my last point, before I keep rambling, my last point is that I am in contact with my twin, and we do speak and we do have conversations. And he's been showing me signs of being really open and telling me he's intuitive now, which I thought is absolutely amazing. Because if I asked him that years ago, he'd be like, no, I'm not. And so the fact that he shared that was huge. But also he's starting to share a little bit more. So I feel him opening. And the reason I'm sharing that I'm in contact with him is because I can actually visibly see that some of the work I've been doing over the years and over the last year, and particularly the last several months, I actually can see the results of it when I speak with him. And while it might not be exactly what I want all the time, I am grateful, and I'm in deep gratitude each time for his soul being on this journey with me and exposing himself to me and letting me know who he truly is bit by bit as he starts to let his guard down and feels more vulnerable. The vulnerability thing is a big deal for a lot of the masculine, because we've been on this planet where we thought that as masculine you have to be tough, courageous, and strong. You don't feel, you don't have emotions, you just keep going forward as a warrior. And unfortunately, that is really not the truth completely about masculine energy. Yes, there are aspects of that is completely true about masculine energy, but that's not all of it. They do feel, they do have feelings, they have rainbows of emotions. And there's so much more to them than just that. So learning to break that mold and to break through those patterns and those programming is work for them. And it happens in a higher dimension before it reaches all the way down here in 3D or reality 5D. So I encourage you to do your healing, do your work, and see where that takes you. Meanwhile, I'm going to stop rambling, and perhaps if you do like what I'm talking about and you think it's helpful, let me know, and then I'll be happy to share more of my story, more of my experiences with you. I just don't want to ramble on forever, but there are little bits of information that I feel like needed to come out tonight. And I also pulled some cards today. I wanted to pull a card regarding this solstice and full moon energy, specifically for the divine masculine and divine feminine. So I only pulled 2 cards, and I just wanted to share what I received, and I'm going to pull them now. So the card for the divine masculine is 2 of Swords. And again, I'm getting really used to this whole YouTube camera thing on my computer. I'm not very good at it, so I apologize if I'm a little out of balance with it. So I'm hoping that you can see the Two of Swords card that I pulled. And in case you haven't seen my videos before, I don't know tarot. I have never studied tarot. I've never done tarot readings, so I don't know the cards. I don't know the meanings typically of Two Swords. The way I've been guided to use this deck is specifically doing twin flame work with it, and it's the Inner Child Healing deck, Inner Child Fairy Tale Tarot Healing deck. And I've been guided to just look at the card and allow the energy to speak to me through the card. So I'm just going to look at it for a moment before I talk with you about it. So when I look at this card, I find this like appropriate for this solstice energy and this full moon energy. And this is for the divine masculine. And I feel like that really symbolizes where they are at. In case you haven't noticed or remembered, Mars is still in retrograde until the 29th of this month, and then it will start to move direct. But before that, Mars has been all about kicking up all the crap, all the healing, all the things we need to do, and showing us we're wrong, and showing us the direction we're going in isn't right for our soul, and showing us that what we're doing is just stuck in the same pattern, and bringing more ideas to us and showing us inspirational things. And so when I look at this card, I feel that energy, actually. I feel truly the energy of the inner turmoil that the divine masculine has been going through, and it's still kind of going through, because again, we're in the solstice energy, we're just coming down off of it, and we're getting ready to move forward. And I see tons of doors opening in July. I feel like July is a big month for twins, and I'm hoping I get more information to share with all of you. But in the meantime, I feel like the divine masculine is totally in this internal struggle, regardless if they're in relationship with someone else or not, or if they're just having their own emotional crisis and they're dealing with their own stuff. This card, to me, speaks volumes. So they've been in the murk, in the muddy water, if you will, over the last several months. I think they've been deep, dark places. And now they're coming up to look at the surface of the water. So to me, they're coming out of some of the emotion as a result of the solstice energy and the full moon. And as we move forward, they're coming out of the water, coming out of the emotion, but they're having this struggle between what they know to be true inside of their heart, inside of their soul, and their longing connection to you. But they're also dealing with what they're supposed to do, how it's supposed to look, what society expects of them, and what they've lived in their patterns, what they've lived in their programming. And so I feel like this is like a great message for what is happening currently and what is going on. So I find that a lot of divine masculines are probably in the situation right now. And I love that there's a giant sun in the background, because that symbolizes to me the solstice energy. And I love that the clouds, if you notice, they're actually pretty pink. I don't know if you can see that. They're pink and fluffy in the background. And to me, it's like this beautiful, divine, unconditional love that is kind of forcing upon these beautiful masculines, whether they are male or female. The divine masculine is totally being enveloped in pink energy and love right now. And it's from us, but it's also from the divine feminine coming into our planet. It's also coming from the solstice energy, major gateway for movement and change and transition. I am feeling a very large shift coming in the next few weeks. I don't even know exactly how or when it's going to appear, but last week I channeled something on my Facebook page. I give little energy updates, and one of the messages was, surrender to the emotion and allow yourself to feel what's coming in this energy, and you will see like a major shift is coming. You'll come through it, and you won't really recognize the shift or transition fully until like 1 to 3 months after, if you even are able to see that. A lot of people are not capable of seeing that because they're just kind of not in that energy of looking at it. But it is going to be big, is what I feel. So this is the divine masculine energy. That's where I feel they're at. They're at this place of internal struggle. How do I beat the demons inside of me? How do I get over thinking I'm supposed to stay married? How do I get over thinking that this is how it's supposed to look? How do I get over that my divine feminine isn't exactly what I thought, or my divine feminine isn't on the path that I thought they'd be on? So for example, my twin flame lives in a very mainstream lifestyle. He has a very mainstream job. And I have this beautiful airy fairy job, and he actually thinks of me as like airy fairy at times. And it's funny, I think I'm very down to earth and very grounded, but in comparison to him, I'm not so much. So we actually make great balance for each other, because I bring that out in him so he can get in tune with his emotions and feelings and his energy. But he brings me back into earth and grounds me a little bit better, a little more. And that's kind of how the twin couples are. We're a balance for each other always, in addition to being mirrors with this beautiful balance. So this is the divine masculine energy. Let me pull the divine feminine card for you. Okay, so the divine feminine card. I really like this card. It's the Eight of Wands, and I'll show that to you in just a moment as I'm pulling out the message. Okay. So here it is, the divine feminine. Oops, I'm not sure if I'm doing good with the camera again. Hopefully you all see it. The Eight of Wands. I love this card. As I look at this card, I see on the card this beautiful energy of all these, I want to call them twin flames, because I feel like it's all these twin flames coming together, working together. And this represents the divine feminine. And I feel like what is interesting about the card is that when I look at this card, I feel like it responds to how I'm feeling in terms of this is my journey, this is my path, and I need to reach out and to help each other. We need to help each other. Not that I've never been like that. I've always been like this. People who know me know that's who I am. But now I feel like I'm opening to all my soul sisters, all my twin soul sisters, twin soul brothers. I'm opening up into that world, and I'm bringing that energy together for me to connect with them, but also to like help each other. We're here to help each other. We're not here to be difficult. We're not here to be making it harder for one another. We're actually cheerleaders for one another. And we're here to light this flame, this divine flame of transformation and change upon the planet Earth. But we can't do it alone, as you can see. We need to do it all together. So when I look at this card, I feel like the divine feminine is finding their soul group, their tribe, if you will, their wisdom people. And I know for me, I'm finding my family of light, because I've been on the journey feeling kind of solo for a long time. And it's been great to connect with new people and find my light tribe, if you will. And I feel like that's us as this divine feminine. You know, we're all coming together. And again, the divine feminine is not just females, it's also males. The divine feminine energy, we're just coming together and we're lighting the flame for our twins to see. It's almost like a smoke signal going out. Like, here we are. We're going to work together to help each other, and we're going to all come into unison and create this new life. And I love that it's a butterfly on the card, because it symbolizes transformation. There's caterpillars over here. I don't know if you can see them, or as my niece says, capitillas. I love when she says that. It was really cute. I feel like for the divine feminine, it's totally changed, and it's all about, you know, the fire, transmutation, and it's appropriate for this time of year, the full moon, the solstice. And so when I look at this card, if you notice, there's a full moon here in the background. So I love, here again, balance. Divine masculine has the sun, and the divine feminine has the moon. And I feel like it's very representative of balance and harmony within the couple, within the two parts, the masculine and feminine part. And while he might be struggling over here, and she's finding connection and other people to help and support on this journey, it's like this balance, because while our divine masculine is trying to find his way, we're over here lighting the way for them. And it speaks to me really loud that we're in a really good time for us as twin flames. I feel like lots of transition and lots of change are coming. And I really want to bring out to you that it is so important to be positive and to trust in what you know to be true in your heart. That is like the biggest message I can give to you, even during the turmoil, the pain, the suffering. And believe me, I say those words, and some of you might not even recognize that yet, because it might be very new for you that you connect to twin flame energies. But those of you who've been on the journey for quite a while, as I have, you know those words pretty well. The pain, the turmoil, the suffering. And it gets easy to lose sight of who we are. It gets easy to lose sight of our unwavering faith and start to have let doubt creep in. You don't want to let doubt creep in. You want to stay in that unwavering faith and trust. And I think the cards that I pulled for tonight, I'll show you one more time. These two cards, I think they speak of balance. They might not look like balance on the surface, you know, but they actually speak of balance of the divine masculine, divine feminine. They're balancing each other out. He is figuring his stuff out, and she's helping. So the divine masculine is figuring it out. Divine feminine is here to help. And, I feel like if you notice, there's one particular in this card here. There is a female energy looking away, but up on top, there's a masculine energy looking right at her. So what I find really cool about that, I just got this very clear feeling. While that's happening, she's coming together with her soul sisters. And again, I apologize for saying she, he. It's just easier in terms of words for me because I just don't have to think, and I don't like thinking. The divine feminine, the divine feminine is out there bringing herself together, networking, connecting, and building a family of light, a tribe, a soul group, or bringing in the soul group. As the divine feminine brings in the soul group, that matches the vibrational frequency that the soul group is at and that she is at. The divine masculine will just show up. Oh, so here again, see, I'm not very good with this whole computer thing. The divine masculine, will begin to look. And once he comes to terms with what's going on over here, he is going to begin looking and saying, oh, wow, this is where I need to be. And be drawn to that flame, if you will, and be drawn to you in a way that you probably don't expect. So I feel like a lot of work doesn't have to happen. At the same time, a lot of work does have to happen. But he is awakened, and he is getting the wake-up calls as they come in, and I believe another one is coming in July. If you are on the wake-up call, you'll know it. You'll feel it and you'll sense it. And back in April, I had the most amazing dream with my twin, where he was letting me know, I got the call loud and clear, and I am coming. And so I'll be happy to share that with you someday if you'd like me to. And I thank you all for watching my video, and I hope it was helpful to you and giving you some information that might be beneficial. I am a rambler. I can talk for days. If you ask any of my friends, they'll tell you that I never shut up when it's something that I'm really passionate about and I feel strongly about, or something that I love. And I adore my twin flame. I love him more than anything. And I adore this journey as much as it's been difficult. I really do. I really am grateful and do adore every step of the way. I could call this a beautiful, difficult journey. So I wish you all well. Happy solstice, happy full moon. Enjoy the energies. Ride through them and wait as the doors start to open. And they're going to open pretty quickly. Thank you and have a blessed day. Namaste.